Hello there. First of all, thank you very much for joining my training and LinkedIn group coaching sessions. And I hope you get to benefit from these sessions and from this training session as well. This is a pre-recorded training session, which I hope will get you off to a good start on LinkedIn. It will last approximately 30 minutes or so. So what we're trying to do is give you a good overview of LinkedIn. I'll also be talking about the benefits of using LinkedIn and how relevant it is to your business. Also, I'll share with you my top tips for growing, engaging with, and generating qualified leads from LinkedIn. And lastly, we'll also discuss how you can use LinkedIn in conjunction with other marketing activities. We're going to talk a little bit about your marketing funnel. Right, before we plunge right into it, just a little bit about myself. My name is Joyce Ong, and I run a marketing consultancy called Marketing Tech for small and medium-sized businesses. Together with technology partners who are based in the UK, we deliver technology solutions such as app, web solutions, search engine optimization, and also B2B LinkedIn marketing. We're more than an app developer, a web developer, or an SEO provider. With my marketing background, we work with the business providing 360-degree marketing advice to generate results for the small business. So that's about me. So why LinkedIn? I have to admit that I've been on LinkedIn for many years now. I've been toying around, playing around with LinkedIn, posting stuff, but not really taking it very seriously, as I didn't believe at the time when I started that LinkedIn could actually help me generate business. And I only really seriously got into LinkedIn the last 4 years or so when I was running my marketing consultancy, and it's helped me a lot in terms of generating qualified leads. So I'm here to share with you what I know about LinkedIn. Now, why LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the world's largest social media channel for professionals. It still is. And it's no longer just for recruiters and job hunters, although LinkedIn did start out that way. So I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why startups and small businesses should really learn how to harness the power of LinkedIn to generate leads. First of all, Google loves LinkedIn. If your LinkedIn account is active and it's complete, you realize that your LinkedIn profile comes up high in Google searches whenever someone searches for your name or for your business. So LinkedIn is absolutely searchable on Google. So if you optimize and complete your profile, that's one added bonus for you in terms of promoting your business. Secondly, you can find decision makers from a wide range of industries on LinkedIn. So you can filter down to specific types of business or a specific type of person within their own organizations, and you can connect with them. And you can filter this according to locations, the languages they speak, the business sector they're in, even the schools that they used to go to, and associations and affiliations that they are in. You can even filter down to check out connections of specific businesses or people. So it's relatively targeted that way. And this is the free version of LinkedIn. You don't need to purchase a premium version if you don't want to. All this information is available to you just with the free version of LinkedIn. And there's no need to spend advertising money to find your audience. And this is really powerful indeed, as unlike Google Ads, which can require substantial budget depending on your competition out there, you could spend quite a lot. So your budget may not go very far nowadays if you solely rely on Google Ads to bring in inquiries. Or if you are into Facebook, if you have your business page on Facebook, you may find that it doesn't really generate much traction on Facebook business unless you spend money on Facebook ads. So with LinkedIn, you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. And the fourth point is LinkedIn is not just for B2B business, although it definitely helps if you are a business working with other businesses. It also can benefit B2C businesses as well. And professionals and business owners are consumers and parents too. And especially with this year, 2020, since the pandemic, we realized that the line between work and home has gotten a little bit blurry. And so people spend more time online, working from home. And when they're online, they could be searching for things either for their business, for their own personal use, or for leisure. So all of these searches, the line starts to get blurry. And therefore, you find that people are spending more time on LinkedIn. And it's not necessarily just for strictly business to business type content they're looking for. They are also looking for business to consumer type content as well. And LinkedIn is the place to showcase your expertise and your business insights. But of course, where else but in the largest professional network in the world? And since Microsoft has acquired LinkedIn some time ago, I can't remember when that was, but it was quite recently. Microsoft LinkedIn rather has rolled out some exciting new features over the last couple of years. So it's great news if you're a small business owner or if you're a marketeer like myself, because this means rolling out the new features would allow you as a business owner to engage with your audience in different creative ways with your own connections. So that's all good news there. Next, I'm going to share with you my top tips for growing, engaging with, and generating qualified leads on LinkedIn. Now, before I go on to talk about my top tips, I just want to say that there aren't any quick fixes. You're not going to suddenly be able to generate leads on LinkedIn in a flash. It does take a little bit of time and some commitment. But here's what I wished I had done when I first started out on LinkedIn. As I said, I've been on LinkedIn for many years, but never really taking it very seriously until the last 4 years or so. So this is my wish list, what I wish I had done when I first started out on LinkedIn. That would have saved me loads of time. So first of all, ask yourself, who are you addressing on LinkedIn? So going back to the basics in terms of marketing, who are you addressing? What sort of audience are they? What's your ideal client like? And can you find them on LinkedIn? So it's always good to start by running a search and filtering out the sorts of people that you want to connect with. So run a search to find out whether your ideal clients are on LinkedIn. Secondly, quality versus quantity. And this I've learned the hard way. When I first started out on LinkedIn, I would put pressure on myself and I would tell myself I need to post every single day. Now, that's not true. And in fact, it's counterproductive if you post just for the sake of posting content on LinkedIn without paying too much attention to the quality of your content, whether that content is relevant to your audience. So what I would say is whether you post twice a week, 3 times a week, or however much time that you have, allow yourself to post, always post with quality in mind. What sort of value are you able to give to your audience? So the way to start is I would suggest check out 10 businesses, or if you're a really niche business, then check out 5 businesses which are similar to yours, and then find out what they do on LinkedIn, what sort of content they post on LinkedIn, and that would give you some ideas as to the sort of content that you could provide on LinkedIn for your business. Have a plan and a call to action for your content as far as possible. So when I mean a call to action, it could be something like comment, like or share my content if you like it. connect with me if you like my content, or it could be a link that they can click, asking them to click a link to a landing page asking for their information. So that's a lead generation page. So the various types of call to action, and I would encourage you to think about your call to action for each post that you have on LinkedIn. And don't be afraid to test. Of course, we're going to get it wrong the first few times. It's not always going to be spot on content that your audience will engage with. So it's always good to test, and do not be afraid to test each time with different sorts of content to see what bites and what doesn't get engagement. Thirdly, how to engage. So we're going to talk about the types of content briefly that you could put out on LinkedIn. And they are content such as your backstory, the story of yourself, why you started your business. And also, I would say ask for suggestions, ask for tips. People are always happy to give you advice or tips or share with you their experience. So that almost always works. So it's good to ask for advice or suggestions in order to get some engagement, some feedback there. Showcase your insights, your business insights. If you have customer reviews or testimonials, by all means, share them on LinkedIn. You could also showcase your insights by discussing customer pains, which you have experience with your own customers, and that could engage the right kind of audience to engage with you. And also, if you have any promotion of events, any webinars, workshops, or face-to-face events that you have, by all means, post them on LinkedIn, and also who you're collaborating with, your partners, suppliers, people that you work with, or your team members. All these are content that you could post on your LinkedIn. And lastly, don't forget to comment, like, and share other people's posts as well. And if you do get comments or engagement on your own post, by all means, do respond to any of these comments. Grow your connections. First, you've got to get clear on the type of connection. So that's going back to the first point I made as to who you're addressing, what's your audience. So get clear on the connections that you want to be inviting, the sort of people that you want to invite to your LinkedIn network as your first degree connections. And then proactively invite these people to connect with you. Don't wait for them to come to you, but proactively invite them. And also, practically speaking, whenever you attend a networking event, you've met someone for coffee, you've spoken with someone on the phone, or you've worked with suppliers, your partners, your clients, then do make a point of inviting them to join you on LinkedIn. And that way you can start to grow an audience and start a conversation. Once you're connected with you, start a conversation with your connections. And for B2B business, you can do this by demonstrating value and offering a discovery call or an assessment after you've demonstrated value in your conversations with them. And for B2C business, you could demonstrate the use of the product in the video or at an event. So that's for people who might be selling products or selling services as well. So a pre-recorded video would be helpful. So these are just two examples of how you can start a conversation with your audience. And you can do this through your conversations, direct messaging with your connections. You can do that in a post as well. And lastly, do run a campaign to get leads. So we're talking about, firstly, we talked about who your audience is, getting clear on the connections that you want to be making. And secondly, we talked about connecting with them, proactively connecting with them. Thirdly, after connecting with them and engaging them, starting a conversation and demonstrating value with them, the next step would be to take the conversation further. You could then run a campaign to get leads. So for B2C or B2B businesses, you could, for example, create a useful checklist, a guide, a quiz, or a survey, or you could offer a product sample in exchange for their details. So that's an example of the type of campaigns that you can run. It's a lead generation campaign in this instance. So the purpose of the lead generation campaigns, and this could be done through direct messaging your contacts. And so the purpose of running this campaign, a direct messaging campaign, would be to get their details, contact details, their name, email, address in exchange for something that is of value to them. So next we're going to talk about marketing funnels, which hopefully will answer your question or give you a good idea of where LinkedIn does sit in your marketing funnel. So those of us who are not quite familiar with marketing funnel maps your company's marketing activities at each stage of the customer journey. So it starts with making your target audience aware of your solution, and then guiding them through an evaluation process, and finally leading them to make a purchase. So the goal of a marketing funnel is to create a system which can be measured at every level of the journey. So that broadly is a definition of a marketing funnel. So next we're going to look at an example of a marketing funnel which I've set up with my business in mind. So first of all, you have top of the funnel, or what I call TOFU. So top of funnel is the point of that is simply to generate awareness, to facilitate awareness of you as a business. What's the problem you're trying to solve, who you are, showcase your insights, or your client review. So that's the top of the funnel. You don't really want to be spending too much time here. Once it's set up, then things should more or less chug along, and essentially you want to automate this part of the funnel so that you're not spending too much time on them. So some examples of top of the funnel activities could be providing LinkedIn content, posting every week, for example, content that's of value to your audience, sending out invitations to the sort of people that you want to connect on LinkedIn. And also, obviously, we can't forget the other socials that you may be on. So these are all top of the funnel activities generating awareness of your business. You could also conduct webinars and partnerships like I do, partnering up with a business or an organization that's got a compatible audience profile to yours, but non-competing, in other words. So I find personally webinars are a fantastic way of generating inquiries and generating leads. So that for me is top of the funnel. And obviously you have other channels such as your website, blogs that you write, and also SEO as well. So these are some activities that you can do to create awareness. Now, this is more a B2B business type of funnel like myself. Obviously, so if you, it may be slightly different for different sorts of businesses, but this is just an example of what I'll do as a B2B business, sort of activities I'll engage in order to generate awareness. So next we moved on to middle of the funnel activities. Now, these are essentially activities that will help you understand and qualify the prospect at this stage. And from there, hopefully you get to build a deeper relationship with people who have arrived at middle of your funnel. So at this stage, middle of the funnel, you want to spend a little bit more time and give more of your time, have more of the personal touch with your audience. So an example would be to create LinkedIn campaigns, LinkedIn direct messaging campaigns, for example, to connect with your audience. After you've demonstrated value, your audience knows you, they've connected with you, you then start to drive LinkedIn campaigns. Also, if your audience has gotten to know you at a webinar, for example, a workshop you conduct, you can then invite them to a discovery call so that you can get to know each other's business on a one-to-one level. So these are discovery calls, coffee meetings that you can set up, which are more time intensive. So middle of the funnel activities. You can, if you are selling products, you can also offer product trials, free samples, for example, to people who have entered your funnel from a social media post that you posted, for example. Do it with you sessions. That's another way of engaging with your audience. So, for example, for myself, I'm offering group support sessions or coaching sessions with people who are interested in the topic of LinkedIn marketing and people who do want to get serious on LinkedIn. So you can offer coaching sessions, group support sessions, do it with you sessions. You can call it whichever way, but essentially you are helping them. You're providing support, group support to people who are interested in what you do and believe that you can help them. And also networking sessions, whether it's online or offline. These are brilliant ways of engaging with people, and also attending speaking events, or actually you going up there on stage speaking to your audience. These are brilliant ways of engaging with your audience. Email marketing is still very much used, and it's still a very effective way of generating engagement from your audience. And the other thing I wanted to note is you may have your contacts on your various social media channels. It's important to have an email marketing list as well as a backup. Just in case, for example, if you're on Facebook and Facebook changes their algorithm, the next month or so, you find that you might be losing part of the audience that way. So that can happen on a social media platform. So as such, as a backup procedure, is always valuable to have your own mailing list and start to continue to cultivate your mailing list and use email marketing. So the third would be bottom of the funnel activities. So activities essentially help you to convert the prospect and to start getting sales. So at this point, I want to say as sales come in and you start to identify who your qualified prospects are. They're no longer just top of funnel and just being aware of you, but you're actually engaging with them, and you know they are qualified or they've indicated some interest in buying what you have to sell. So you would then start to spend even more time with these people. So some examples of bottom of the funnel activities could be doing a product demo, a one-to-one product demo with a potential client or a group of people, sharing case studies with them as well, and obviously sales calls at this point, or setting up meetings with your prospects. You can also, at the bottom of the funnel, offer free or start to offer free or paid memberships by, for example, charging a small amount of money to invite them to join a membership group so that they can continue to get more value out of what you have to offer. So these are examples of bottom of the funnel activities. You could also start offering your mini courses or books as well at the bottom of the funnel. So these are just some examples of what I, as a B2B business, would do. Obviously, for your business, you may need to tailor your business. You may find that certain activities would be further up the funnel, certain other activities could be further down the funnel. So it depends on the type of business you're in. But generally, for a B2B business like mine, a marketing consultancy, this is what I would do. So I hope that's helpful. So next, this is the bonus at the end that I mentioned in the beginning of this training. So once you've seen this training webinar, I hope you found that useful. The next step would be to join me for my 4 LinkedIn group support sessions, my 4 LinkedIn support sessions, which are happening on the 6th, 13th, the 20th, and the 27th of January. And the time is always going to be 2 p.m. So I hope you can join me on these dates if you want to start getting serious about LinkedIn. So what will we do during these sessions? These sessions are going to be about 45 minutes, hopefully no longer than 45 minutes each session. And I'll invite you to first of all, discuss a specific LinkedIn feature. And we'll explore that specific feature during these sessions. And I'll start with LinkedIn search because that is one of the first things you would do to try and find your audience. So we'll start with LinkedIn search to build the connections that you want, and then we go on to other features that we could use. It could be a discussion about LinkedIn events, which is again another really powerful tool to generate inquiries. If you're, for example, if you're holding events, whether it's online event or an offline event, a face-to-face event, LinkedIn events have become quite a powerful tool to generate engagement. We could talk about polls if you like. So we'll pick each LinkedIn feature at each session to discuss. And then I will do a Zoom demo to show you how to do it, how to get to that feature, how to use that feature, some examples of from myself, and maybe a few other examples of people my connections, and how they've used put such a feature to really good use and how it's worked for them. So I'm going to show you step by step how to work a certain feature on LinkedIn. So you leave the call knowing you've learned something useful and you can put it to good use immediately, because by that time after the call you would know how to access the feature, how to use the feature, and you have some ideas on how you can use the feature for your own marketing. And thirdly, I'll answer some questions that you may have on LinkedIn. And also I'll invite you to share your experiences working with LinkedIn so far. And of course, I'll share some of my experiences as well with you. So how to start? There are 3 things I can suggest that you could do this week in order to get started this week or today, depending how much time you have. You could first of all run a search of your ideal customers on LinkedIn. Find out how many of them are there, who they are, and the sorts of content that they would post. Just to get an idea of the type of content that you could put up there. Secondly, review your LinkedIn profile. We didn't touch on that because I take it most of us here would already have a LinkedIn profile set up. But I would like to invite you to review your LinkedIn profile again at this point before we start our group sessions, and pay particular attention to your headshot and your banner, your LinkedIn banner, and your introduction. So bear in mind on your LinkedIn profile, that's the first thing people will see when they land on your profile. So pay particular attention to your headshot. Make sure it's a professionally done headshot. And also your LinkedIn banner as well, what messages you want to put on your LinkedIn banner, and make sure that the messages could be seen on your banner, as the text on the LinkedIn banner could appear very different on your phone as compared to on your laptop. So when you've uploaded your LinkedIn banner, I would suggest to have a look at it on a tablet, on your iPhone, or on your laptop, to make sure that the banner is displayed clearly and that all the text that you have on your banner can be seen clearly. And obviously your introduction, first couple of lines that people see on your profiles, first thing they notice. So you want to make it absolutely clear that people know what you're doing, what you stand for, how you can help them. So the first couple of lines is really important. And I want to give you a top tip there. On your LinkedIn profile, when you have your first name and your last name, I would say make full use of your first name and last name. You can put maximize the number of characters that you can use in your name field, because that will be the first thing that people see. So for example, my name is Joyce Ong. Instead of just saying first name Joyce, second name Ong, I would say Joyce Ong, marketing consultant, for example, because you're allowed more characters than that. Unless, of course, you have a really long name, in which case you may not have space left. So I would say play around with your name fields. So that's the top tips. First thing people notice, and that's how we can maximize your profile within the first few seconds. And thirdly, check out 10 businesses that are similar to yours, or if you're a niche business, then check out 5 businesses that are more or less similar to your business. Check out their content to get ideas for your own content planning. And don't forget to connect with me, Joy Song, on LinkedIn. If you Google Joy Song, Joy's Marketing Tech on LinkedIn, if you do a search on LinkedIn, you'll find me there. And of course, do let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it from me. I hope that's been useful for you. And I